Oh, big ol' fucking shout out.
Dude, right? I still haven't read the text thread.
Wow, he almost paid for this whole month.
Wow.
Oh, what? Oh my god, we need some light. I like being able to hear it right here, actually. That's enough.
Yeah, you could turn that up to the volume.
It's pretty fucking loud.
Well, then we can hear the farting in the
Okay, you're on.
sex.
So we can hear the farting in the turtle sex?
Yeah, we're going to start the episode with that. We can hear the farting in the
Can we
turtle
start
sex.
with turtle sex first? Please?
Yeah, can we please hear some turtle sex?
Sure.
Here we go. Turtle sex.
If you don't know what we're talking about, just like, yeah, there it is. Google tortoise sex. It's an amazing video.
You'll hear all sorts of things.
They have no shame.
They don't, yeah.
No, and maybe it's because, they're one of the animals that live the longest, so they're just like, we're fucking over it. I'm 200 years old. Fucking judge me. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. My head already looks like a cock with a, so whatever, you know, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it sounds like one, too.
So today we have the amazing Kat LaFleur
in the
studio.
And she brought her emotional support blogger with her, which is fucking amazing.
It is fucking amazing.
You should like bring it on a plane with like the emotional support like tag on it, and then like just fly yourself on the plane and just be like, I need this emotional support.
Or just hold it like an animal. Just
there you go. Yeah, exactly. And then the best part about that is that who's ever next to you. But I mean, like, I would say 90% of people would not talk to you if you did that, which is good. I think 10%.
That's kind of what you want.
And then the 10%, maybe 1% of those would be the people you want to actually talk to you. The other 9% maybe like, yeah, exactly. No, I don't need dipping sauce with my pretzels. Keep it in your pants. So,
gross. Oh my god. Mayonnaise. We also have the Foxy Fox in the studio, just in our peanut gallery.
Fox in the studio.
Yeah,
you can see Foxy Fox is here. He's under the table right now, so
he's servicing everyone.
Yeah, he's cervixing everybody. He's doing public cervix announcements under the table.
Yeah,
Oh my! You can hear him down there. Listen.
That is not what a fox sounds like.
Yeah. What does a fox say?
And doesn't it also go? I think it gets auto-tuned.
Only when it's in the foxhole.
Yeah,
and then it does that.
That's the auto-tuning foxhole.
Yeah.
Oh, before I forget, a huge shout out to Chris VZT for
my freaking god,
amazing donations.
Amazing.
Basically,
wow. I still haven't read
this show and the next one brought to you by Chris VZT.
Yay, Chris VZT! Woo!
Yeah,
Yay!
so awesome.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know. We've been running into some financial difficulties, so thanks for stepping up, stud.
So let's talk about why there might be financial difficulties. And this also goes into the why, Bawd Sisters, why did you not have a show last week? Well, the reason we didn't have a show last week is I was in court for my beautiful divorce. It'll be beautiful when it finally happens. But right now it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But we were in mediation last week, and my ex-thing and his lawyer show up like a couple of fucking clowns, haven't done the prep work, they don't know, Anyway,
shit.
That is what happened. It was the mediation that was not a mediation, because actually when you come to mediation, you need to know what you're asking for or what you want or whatever. You don't just show up with your dick in your hand going, boy, this is like the first time I'm seeing this. I mean, I know we've been getting divorced for like 2 years now, but what? This is all such a surprise.
It's also like, I mean, it goes along with like our ongoing talk about like monogamy and there's so much potential to go to war with each other. Instead of like be in a relationship based in love, and that's one of the biggest things that I notice happening again and again in relationships is that people, that's the next kind of movement in collective consciousness I hope to see is like people embracing and dedicating themselves to how to consciously uncouple.
Yeah.
That would be a really
It's a
wonderful
big thing
thing
right now.
to have people like, instead of go to war and try to fuck each other over and punish each other and be vindictive, like, we came into this in love and hopefully, and, we can hopefully find a way to separate in love, celebrating all of the love we've shared and everything, and not go to war. Don't try to eviscerate each other's egos, character, sense of well-being, happiness, and bank accounts.
Yeah, exactly. Because who wins? The lawyers.
Yeah,
nobody else
exactly.
wins. Like in this case, no one is going to win except for the lawyers.
Right.
The lawyers, they're going to be like, and fine, they get it. They do a job. They deserve to be paid for their job. However, they're the only winners in this game.
Yeah,
everyone else is going to walk away poorer and more pissed off.
Yep, and as well as your children are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, my children.
Bye, college fun.
Yeah. Bye. Oh, you can ask good old what's his bucket for money.
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that shit. So I'm not doing that this week.
Yeah,
that's right.
Where's the toilet flushing?
That's all right. Yeah. douche.
Don't call names.
Douche. Yeah. Totally. So, how about you and your weekend? Tell me.
I can never remember, and
because you're just having your brains fucked out. That's what's going on. You have your brains fucked out. So by Tuesday, you have no brains left. They're just like.
I don't think I did anything amazeball. I did somewhat amazeballs, but not anything.
Oh.
You can call them things if you want to, but I do sometimes.
He's an amazeballs thing.
Yeah, an amazeballs thing.
There's something I did want to do. I want to go through this. Sometimes when I'm really mad, I say funny stuff on Facebook. Yeah,
I wish I got on Facebook more. The thing I was was telling me about the amazing things you were saying on Facebook.
Oh yeah. So this was the one that cracked me up. I was like, it was Thursday. I think it was Thursday or Friday night. I was bored at home, horny, and I was like, I wish someone would just deliver me dick. And I was like, deliver dick. And then I was like, oh, Uber Eats me. And then I'm like, DoorDash.
Wait, what dash?
DoorDash.
DoorDash.
Yeah.
Oh,
so there's more, because then
DoorDash.
our amazing friends piped in with a bunch of stuff.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Radio sack, sunglass slut. Here we go. Wait, those are real ones. Dominatrix O's or Subway actually just fits.
Subway, wait, I didn't get it.
Subway, because Dominatrix. I said Subway just fits because Dominatrix O's and then you have Subway.
Oh,
you don't
Subway.
even have to change
That's
Subway.
I like it.
Amber's crotchy itch. Fucking go nuts. Dumping my nuts. That one got me good. Victoria's Secretions. You always say that.
I always say that.
Yeah.
Yes, since I was 18.
Yeah.
Victoria's Secretions.
Okay, what else? Food Panda Express.
Food Panda?
Yeah.
Oh, like Fupa.
Like Fupa, yeah.
That upper pubic area. I like that.
Humpin' John's, Jizzy Mike's. I don't even know that those are things. Pizza Slut. Pizza Cunt.
I have a Pizza Slut t-shirt.
You do? Yeah. Oh my god, you should.
It was for a video I never made.
McDildos.
McDildos.
McDildos has fatty meals.
I
love these. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, McDoodoo's and McDonald's. So there's a lot of different ways you can go with this one. Grub Chub. That's from our dear father.
Dad said
Grub Chub.
The Baptist preacher said Grub Chub.
Yeah, that was it.
God. Yeah.
Those were all the ones I got, but they were just so, that lifted my spirit.
Maybe Chub Grub. I don't know.
Yeah, Chub Grub. Because then then it's like you're eating a chubber.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like a chubby
I'm
dinner or
having
whatever.
dinner for dinner.
Yeah.
I'm having a teaspoon of protein.
Because not everyone knows we call boners chubbies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he totally got a chubby over there. That's how we say it. Well, I don't know. I don't want anyone to think that we're talking about people that are chubby, you know, like
body shaming.
Yeah, we're not body shaming anyone.
Yeah.
We're just talking about boners as usual. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Hello.
We're not body shamers.
We're not body shamers. We're just obsessed with boners.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Boner. Oh my god.
Old joke.
So I want to introduce Kat.
Yay!
Because I think some of our listeners will remember when I talked about like going to this Fancytown party where I got tango flogged, and there was this amazing flogger that was made with suede and rabbit. And
much like the one on the table.
Yes,
us right here.
Kat is the person,
the tango
one of the tango floggers, definitely, and has been at the heart of like creating a lot of really cool events, and and more stuff to come in the future. We can get into that. Yeah. But it was really incredible. They created an incredible space where it really was like you're walking into Fancytown. It was this amazing Victorian house. There was a maid. There's a countess and mayor.
For cleanup, the maid for cleanup. Did that really happen? Was she the wiper-upper, the quick sticker-upper at the party?
Made some fancy cocktails.
Oh, okay.
She did. Yeah, she was very good at that.
They cleaned up after themselves.
Yeah. She was there for the classy, not cleaning up the assy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So other people are there for cleaning up the assy.
Yeah, but there were other cleaners there. Like, you know, it's not a cleanup up for yourself.
No, I was just thinking about particular people who like cleaning asses, like with their tongues.
Oh, gotcha. That was a good explanation. That was an XX explanation.
Totally. Yeah. So, one of the things that really struck me when I was there was that a lot of times there's this idea of BDSM as being like something that's like dungeony and dark and gothy or whatever, and that it can actually be just like, well, it can kind of be whatever you want it to be. Like you can put it into you can package it any way you like. So
package it. I was intrigued by that. So like, you know, I just you clearly know each other and have been, you know, creating a dialogue, relationship, understanding. So as I was very, very nicely done, the Google Doc that you made here.
Oh, this wasn't me. This was the fabulous Fox.
Oh, yes, you over there. Fabulously done. Hello.
The foxiest Fox.
Yeah, that was, I read through it a few times and I learned something even from, you know, the bullet pointed layout here. And I was intrigued by that as well, like the aspect of like, yes, kink doesn't always have to be dark, you know, scary. And I don't have as much experience with it, so I wanted to hear more about. I want to hear about it all, but I was definitely intrigued with that. Like, well, what does that look like?
Yeah, so maybe you can just kind of start by telling us about the idea of parlor, what you wanted.
Parlor versus dungeon.
Yeah.
Versus dungeon.
Yeah.
Dungeons sound dark and dank and moist and not in a good way.
Mildewy.
Get in my dungeon, baby.
There's just something, just a little, I don't know, unpleasant about them. Where a parlor is a lovely place,
right?
Where you can have a cocktail and a fire and candles and
sensual.
And dress up if you'd like, and I'll bend you over and flog you with my rabbit flogger.
Yay!
It seems more sensual.
Yeah.
And it's still kinky and can be as, you know, kinky as you'd like, but in just a little lighter setting.
Yeah. The word punishing came to mind when I think of dungeon.
Yeah.
Not to say that, like, you know, you can't be in a parlor and experience something like, you know.
We punish the maid.
Do you like to be punished? Well, then you're hired.
She's sassy or spills a drink. I mean,
Does she do it on purpose sometimes? Is she
I
like,
think all the
what?
time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's like, oops, margarita on your, margarita bill.
Oh, clumsy me.
Oops, you must
Yeah.
be vipped.
Yeah.
Insert turtles fucking sound.
We don't even need it. We don't need the
We
sound
just
effects.
did it.
We
We
can do
just
it
did it. Yeah,
ourselves.
exactly.
We
Yeah.
can channel the fucking turtle.
Yeah, we
If
do.
nothing else, we can do
Hey,
that.
that's my nickname in our family. One of them, Tourette said turtle.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Teabag.
Exactly. Teabag. That's what my nieces
that's
call me.
lovely.
I know.
Yeah. I remember Zoe being like 18 months old. God,
Oh, God.
she's 18 years old now, but she was 18 months old. She called you teabag.
Yeah, I don't think
And
she knew
I
what she was saying.
almost
but
died. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah.
Teabag. Like,
Teabag.
oh, okay.
Oh,
I don't want to shame her,
Oh,
but
God.
now
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now she knows.
Now she knows what she's calling you.
Yeah.
Balls.
Balls.
You are the balls.
balls.
Um,
Splat.
So yeah, okay, going back to so the idea of a parlor is that it's like a sensual space where impact can happen, where sensation can happen, but you're like creating a whole kind of feeling, or a whole like bigger kind of a larger scene. It's not like a scene where there's just two people. You're creating like the scene within, there will be scenes within that scene kind of. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Do I have this? If you want.
Oh, you have that open.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
that's
Look at that.
great.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're talking
all
about
of the Fox's work is paying off.
Yeah, it pays off.
Hmm.
But so we were talking about parlor versus dungeon. And so I have seen, so we have in the grand scheme of BDSM, there are sadists, like true sadists. And then there are people who only kind of want to give you what you really, really want. Give me what I want, what I really, really want. Yeah, exactly. So the service top.
Even if the service is there like a sub? Or how does that go?
Service top. Would
Oh,
be
service
topping.
top. Right. Okay. Always being the top. Gotcha.
Yeah. So but that's like an interesting position to be in, where you're like, you're the top. So essentially you're calling the shots, but it almost like, to me, means like you have to remain super connected to the people that you're with, because it's like because you're reading them and you're like wanting to give them just the right amount of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be really aware of what they want, how they're feeling, checking in, making sure you know their boundaries and safe words, or some sort of stoplight system. It's a lot of connection as the top.
Yeah. Do people ever get to a place where they're like kind of nonverbal? Like, how do you deal with stuff where people go like, because I could see that happening, where like you get into such a space like sub drop or whatever, where you're just like nonverbal. What do you do? Yeah. Oh,
that is a question coming.
Oh,
soon.
yeah. Can we address the question in just a sec? Because I just asked one. So
all right,
then we can go there. So like, how do you navigate that when people just can't use their words or whatever, or maybe you've like shoved a big apple in their mouth or someone's dick or something, whatever.
Yes.
Something they
or
cannot
gag
speak.
or yes.
When one cannot speak, how do you manage that?
Yes. You look for physical cues.
Okay.
You definitely need to be really aware of what's going on and not get into your own space where you're just wailing on someone. You need to make sure that you read their body language, and if they're pulling back or pulling away, that's really important to acknowledge and check in. And if they do have an apple or a dick in their mouth, make sure you take it out so you can communicate with them.
Right.
And then you can put it back in.
Right. Or hand signals or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Oftentimes people are restrained, so hand signals are, you can't. You can have hand signals, but sometimes you can't. So making sure that you have some kind of nonverbal communication that you've established beforehand going into it.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. It's interesting, like just dabbling a little bit in like BDSM. One of the things I used to always get told, "Oh my God, Teresa, you'd make such a great dominatrix," and I think it's because of my, angular face and large Germanic veins. Like people could just see me in big boots going, "Schweinstücke on your knees, fix these boots," and like I'm such a softy empath massage therapist. But then actually, like after exploring it a little bit, I was really seeing how to be a good dom probably really does take being an empath, because you do need to be very emotionally connected. And as much as like I used to always think like, "Oh, I could never do that because you're causing someone pain." Well, actually, if it's pleasure to them, it's something they want, there's a catharsis. I started seeing like, maybe there's a way I could do that, that bring in that empathy to stay in tune, like you're talking about, so that you're making sure that, their emotional, physical, psycho-spiritual, everything experience is being tended to with great attention. Yes. And great respect.
Yes, respect is key.
Yeah.
Respect and consent.
Respect and consent.
That's massive.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that's like really nice when you're with someone who's a kind of a very in tune top is that you as the bottom can just like release your body to them to a large extent, because that like if you're in a scene, if someone comes up and tries to touch you or something like that, the top's gonna be like,
no, you don't.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. Or so it's like you really are, and that pays off again and again. Like when you, and so you do build up this really huge amount of trust with
right.
people. Yeah.
It very much feels like a protective role in a lot of ways.
It's super, it definitely is. And I think, and I'm sure that the people that you're with feel that, like, and so that just like allows them to just relinquish control, which is so wonderful.
Strangely enough, it's a protective role where you're, spanking and beating them.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so it's like the 1950s. Parenting in the 50s. There we go.
Exactly.
But more fun and more consensual.
Yes, exactly. And it's not your parents.
Yeah, because
that's the gross part.
Unless you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right.
You could have like a mommy or daddy situation happening.
Right.
So, okay, we had a question. Should we get to that?
Yeah, let's get the question.
Michael, would you like to verbalize that question for us?
Schweinstücke.
Yeah, Chris VST asks, is Kat LaFleur a mistress?
Oh.
Yes, I am.
Yay. So should we refer to you as such, Mistress Kat LaFleur?
Mistress Kat is fine.
Okay. I like it. You're like, let's keep it casual. Not so formal with the LaFleur.
We don't need the first and last name.
I know, exactly. It's not church. That's your Catholic name. Mistress Kat LaFleur is her Catholic name. Let's keep it casual.
Oh,
yeah.
God, that's awesome.
So now I love always being the ignoramus in the room. Like,
that's great.
What? I know, because like I represent a lot of people like me that are ignoramici and don't know.
Yeah.
What is a mistress?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
Good question. Oh, what's a mistress? I guess a mistress is someone that you look to give you what you are asking for in a way that's authoritative.
Right. Like it's maybe different than a dom because maybe you're not as much in that role, the rigid role of being a dom.
It's I think they're very, very similar.
Okay.
I think there's there can be a lot of protocol to being a mistress. There can be a lot of
responsibility comes to mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all in all, mistresses and doms, you figure out what their kink is and deliver it to them in a way that they are appreciative and a little fearful, I think.
Yeah. You're in a position of power and authority, but maybe the dom has more of a responsibility to be domineering. And maybe that's the subtle difference is that, you might be in control and be the responsible one as the mistress, but not be kind of locked into that identity as much as being the dom. So it seems like a more, I don't want to say rigid role. That makes it sound kind of judgmental or confining, but like, the mistress maybe is more flexible.
Me? I don't know.
I tried.
I don't know.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Okay.
tomato. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Dom, D-O-M-M-E is equivalent to mistress, I think.
Because it's like master, mistress, dom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I if somebody's out there who knows the difference, and I mean,
maybe it's like Mrs.
but
and Ms. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll Google it.
You know what?
I'll
I want to
Google
be. I want to be a moistress.
I love it. Oh, that sounds like a new salad dressing.
I'm your moistress.
Yeah. I'm your
No, I said it
moistress.
correctly. Don't correct me.
Yeah, Shay. Oh, here. I didn't mean to take away your
Oh my
your
God.
Google dick.
Okay. Yeah.
Your
Don't take
dick, you meant. Yeah.
What was that?
face sitting, he said.
Face sitting. Yes, you're moistress.
You're moistress. Oh, I
This
love
is like the
it.
thing where you like start wiping someone's face off, and you're like, I'm just cleaning my seat.
Oh, that's so good.
Isn't that great?
Someone's going to run with this idea if I say it out loud, and that's fine because I'll
Yeah.
never do it unless Michael helps me. But like one of the ideas I had too for, all the pedal paloozas and the naked bike rides and stuff is I thought like, oh my God, it'd be so great to have like rain guarding, like seat protectors for your bicycle where you could have like a face printed of like whoever you want, like David Bowie on your seat cover.
Yeah.
So like while you're riding your bike, you're writing David Bowie's face. I mean, that would be mine. That'd be my go-to.
Totally.
Yeah. Anyway, you're welcome. Whoever runs with that,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Let me
Like
get my
those,
phone.
because
Oh.
you can print on like any like synthetic fabric really easily
Yeah.
with sublimation. So you could just do like those synthetic like seat cover things that
I shouldn't have said it on the air. See, we could do this, like you and me together, our novelty company.
we could, but yeah. So we could
Yeah.
have like the Jason Momoa
Yeah.
one, and then
Yeah.
Put your own faces.
and put your own.
I could ride your own face. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like, oh, I'm so good.
Oh
my God.
I'm better than I thought. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really taking it like a champ.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you could have tongues like implanted, like, the tongue licky machine. Have you guys seen those? The blah, 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 blah.
Oh, someone I know
The
made
circle of tongues for your bicycle.
fucking made one of those.
See, there you
like-
go.
And it's on it's a drill bit that you put into a thing that's like a conveyor belt. Like imagine the tracks on like a tank. Okay, but it has tongues, like 100 tongues on it. And you put the drill bit in, and the tongues just go. Blah, 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 blah.
Michael, again, this is a Michael
This
moment where I feel
person,
like
yeah.
Michael could help invent this because I mean,
This
think about
person's
like,
amazing. No, someone's.
but think
someone's
about the
done it.
bicycle, right?
Yeah.
There's all these gears, and you just need a belt going up to the seat that's like, right at the front of the seat, just like rotating the tongue.
I think we have a listener who could also do this.
Oh my
Uh-huh.
God!
Yeah.
Yay!
They're
Engineers,
very-
engineers,
Engineers. Make the licky bicycle seat.
Yeah,
I would exercise so much.
Me
I
too,
know, I'd be
right?
like,
On
I'm
a
still
stationary
working out.
bike?
Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how'd you lose all that weight? Well, it's the
Fucking
know,
Peloton, man.
it's the lick cycle.
Oh my God.
Yes. Oh,
Oh shit, yeah.
there's
I love
another
it.
one. Another $1 million idea.
Right there.
Toilet flushing.
Goodbye,
You're welcome, engineers.
$1 million.
Goodbye, $1 million. Oh,
We
not
just-
again.
We just need to name it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. We can get around to that though.
Lickapalooza,
There's a BDSM ride for Pedal Palooza coming.
No way.
Is there really? Okay.
Hosting it.
Okay.
Oh my
So
God,
for everyone that couldn't
okay.
hear, Fox,
I need to be on
the,
it.
the Fox and the Foxhole said that there's a BDSM ride for Pedal Palooza happening,
Yeah.
and Fox is hosting it. And you got dates?
August 19th.
August 19th.
Okay.
That's 2 days after I really, really get divorced. That's so exciting.
That's great.
We are going to
Celebrate.
pedal
Coming.
our faces off.
Yeah.
I will be coming. And if my brilliant friend makes that tongue thing, I'll definitely be coming.
Right, exactly. Coming while you're going. Coming while you're going. Coming while you're going.
God, boy, she's really pedaling fast over
Yeah,
there. Like I'm
exactly.
doing extra laps around everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
You've got it in neutral. Oh my God.
Yes.
That's great. And so how does an ignoramukai like my Sai like find out about like how to join it? Can everyone join the BDSM Pedalpalooza. Okay.
Shift2bikes.org.
Shift2bikes.org.
Is it the number 2 or TO?
Number 2.
Number 2. Shift.
Okay.
Number
But don't
2
number 2 while you're on your
bikes.org.
bike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or during the BDSM event.
Or
please.
anything that involves tongues.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless it's the fake tongue on your bike and then
Yeah.
like knock yourself
It's
out.
like whatever.
Yeah.
Come on again and promote it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, please do.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's intriguing.
Maybe we'll
Mhm.
even have like a tongue bike thing
And
by
that
then.
reminds me. That
'Cause
reminds
I really
me.
want to have that.
We all do.
segue to memory sequence.
know.
I mean, it reminds me of okay, so when Mom went to Burning Man with us,
Yeah.
we won't say her name. She's a professional. Mom went to Burning Man with us, and I had her.
She was there to watch the baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
She took a night off, and then baby daddy like watched the baby, and then
Yes.
like I got her to eat a mushroom. It was for medicinal purposes only. And then I asked her like I was like, you know, debriefing her like, well, this is what it's gonna be like, and don't worry, it's natural. And then like, you know, as it was coming on, I was like, Mom, can I dress you up like a dead hooker? And she's like, sure. And then so we started like I paint my face like a Day of the Dead, you know, we do these costumes. You were one, and then like you had your boss at the time there. He dresses her like dead pimp.
Yeah.
Totally
He was our dead
totally appropriate in all regards. And
That's what we do.
Yeah. And so anyway, when we took Mom out, like, you know, on the playa, we go to like a BDSM camp, and you know, we wait in line, and what it is, there's a bicycle that has a spanking paddle on it. And so I was like, let's do it, Mom. And she's like, sure. You know, so I get on the bicycle and she bends over, and, you know, I'm riding it, and the spanking pedal's going, spanking her and stuff. And I was like, this is for all the spankings you gave me as a child. And it was so sad and sweet. She looks up at me with her tender little shroomy eyes, and she goes like, I didn't spank you that much, did I? And I was like, oh no, you didn't. You're right. Yeah. And she really didn't, but you know, anyway.
You're just the master of overkill when it comes to vengeance.
Yes,
That's all.
exactly. That's
You're
true.
like,
yes.
You hit me once, I hit you 20 times.
Yeah. No, that's
Then we're even.
no, that's the guy I'm seeing now. That's Josh.
Oh!
I scared him when he was coming out of the bathroom one night. He takes a pitcher of cold water and dumps it on me in the shower. That's the master of over vengeance.
Josh.
Yeah. You're bad man.
Josh, I have a message for you. Thank you. It's as if you're having my revenge
yes
for me as well.
Mhm.
Because
I'm the worst.
She was so naughty.
I'm so naughty. I know, but I digress. I'm distracting. I said I wouldn't, and here we go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to
Let's get back to-
parlors, kinks, that kind of thing. So like, all right, so fancy kink. Do you have a fancy kink? Tell me about a fancy kink.
I have very much. I have a fancy kink.
Oh boy. Yay. Go.
Here's my fancy flogger.
I
That
love
is
it.
so fancy and so
Rabbits.
sensual.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's made of rabbit
I
fur
wanna touch
and
it.
suede. I just like things that are very sensual. I
Ooh.
love, fancy cocktails and dressing up, and parlors and lovely people. It's just that kind of gets me off.
Yeah, and it's so cool to have stuff like that happening in Portland, because Portland is a place where people kind of like don't do a whole lot of fancy.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's amazing when someone does fancy and does it well, and you have a reason to get dressed up and to drink fancy cocktails and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just feels good. It feels like a fantasy. It
Mhm.
feels like something out of your ordinary. I mean, everybody, likes to don their flannels and hoodies and
Sure.
tromp around, but to put some effort into something, and maybe I kind of like even a little bit of the uncomfortable of it.
Mhm. Same.
Corsets and garters aren't necessarily the most comfortable things, but they sure do.
They're
look
supportive.
great.
They
and,
look so
yeah.
good.
yeah, and heels and
Mhm.
and kind of wearing those and
Yeah.
putting those, putting that all together for
Mhm.
something that it's just kind of beautiful and lovely.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah.
that mindset. And
Yeah.
and
It's
there are
almost-
maids and
Yeah.
butlers with 2 T's.
Butler. It's like you're adding a sense of formality around something, that's like, that isn't like church or something, that normally we've had a lot of formality around.
Yes.
We have a question for the mistress. It's would you be open to sharing some of your most salacious stories? Changing the names and personal details of your clients, of course.
For your people.
For the people. I know. Maybe you can even think about it if you want to get back to it.
You can think while we
mull it over.
talk.
Maybe even talking more might bring out some of those, stories might come to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one thing I just want to talk. So we had a little gathering last night just to kind of, of course, just touch base,
Debrief.
and be like, yes, and just like a little warm up. It feels good.
Yeah.
So we were talking so much about like how this can really create a sense of community where that, and that's really like fundamentally where you get down to there's the kink side of it, but then maybe sometimes the most gratifying part of it is the friendships and and creating community. And like when you bring a group of people together and you see them connecting and you go like, oh my God, I kind of knew that would be magic.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's the coolest. Yeah.
It is. It's a community in a place that I didn't realize there would be such a strong bond between people. But you're opening up and you're being really vulnerable and you're either giving or receiving in a way that brings you closer together. It's created a lot of really wonderful friendships and kind of magical scenes, and
trust keeps coming to my mind. Like
very much,
so much.
opening yourself up to being vulnerable in a new way.
Yes.
And,
and wanting to see other people, people's fantasies, if you will, come true.
That must be powerful.
Yes.
And being able to facilitate that, help facilitate that. Wow.
Fancytown was a fantasy. And Fancytown was just, just this sort of idea of having these more luxurious evenings and times together, which culminated in this castle, this Victorian mansion. And once everybody was on board, they strived to make it Fancytown. Everybody contributed in their own way to Fancytown and made it happen. So I think a big part of that kink is the fantasy becoming reality. Which is so much fun.
Way to erect quite an elaborate event, a way to come together. No pun intended. God, so many dirty jokes just waiting everywhere.
Erect here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fancytown is one kink, but I know you also do another thing that's more circus related. So tell us a little bit. Yeah. So okay, is this So
I do like clowns.
Can you? Yeah, because that definitely belongs as part of a circus kink.
Yeah.
And we've done clownioke before.
It's true.
So a bunch of people get in clown makeup and go out and sing karaoke together.
Yeah, I was a dead clown with a bullet hole in his head. With
that's right.
Down. Yeah, that disturbed everybody.
And our friend Michelle had a penis right here in her chest.
I would believe that.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
She did. Yeah. I was the approachable clown. Everyone wanted to talk to me because I looked cute. I'm like,
hi,
everybody.
You're the happy-go-lucky clown.
Yeah. But
happy-go-fucky.
Okay, so go. So, all right. The circus.
Yes.
Tell us about the circus.
Yes.
So
all 3 rings.
I've always had a great fascination for circuses and performers, and particularly this just the grandeur of it, the sparkle, that's a fantasy world. They come to town, they erect the big top.
Hell yeah, they do.
Oh yeah. I like knowing your vulva nickname, the Big Top. Talking about erecting the Big Top.
and there are people whose physical abilities are just incredible, like contortionists and trapeze artists, and it just gets me all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So, and there are whips and lions and
Right. A lot of performance, a lot of that power dynamic, you know, like the lion tamers, and then the big powerful beast that's being like submissive and you know, rolling over. Okay.
Yeah.
Bite your fucking head off, though.
And there's this beauty in, you know, humanizing that, you know, and there's this, you know, the human lion who you can tame.
And who looks forward to it. Like, I think that's one of the things. I remember I watched a documentary. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but it was about like a dungeon, dominatrix dungeon in New York. And a lot of her top paying clients are like high CEOs, these people that have to be the lions all the time. And there's a burden to that sense of constant responsibility and power that actually just becomes like overwhelming being the top dog. Like, I'm responsible for everything. And so like being constrained and being made to be submissive can become like a freedom that they finally get to be unburdened by this sense of responsibility and power. So it goes along with the lion sort of metaphor.
Yes. Okay, so in the circus, where do you put yourself?
Oh, I'm the ringmaster.
Okay,
of course she is. Did you see the costume? Did you see the picture?
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
That is the ringmaster. What'd you say? Ladies and genitals.
Ladies and genitals.
Oh my god.
Ladies and genitals. Welcome to my 3 Nuva Ring circus.
Yes. Oh my god. I'm gonna just take a little sidebar real quick. The SNL did a really funny skit where the woman said, "My dong hole and my wrong hole," and that has been making me laugh for days now.
My dong hole and my wrong hole.
The dong hole. Yeah, and you specifically would be saying this: "My dong hole and my wrong hole."
Yeah, leave my wrong hole alone. Go to the dog hole. Yeah, that's what my wrong hole says.
Your wrong hole definitely says that.
Yeah, my seltzer water says that too. Yeah. All right, go on though. Don't let me distract.
Oh my god. Okay, so one thing that we've talked about quite a few times on the show is like how to kind of create the right mix. So we talked about community. We talked about like setting a scene. We talked about like making a fantasy come true. Like, what are some of the things that you do when you're looking at creating a thing like a circus or a fancy town or kind of that sort of thing? Like, what's your, and I'm sure I'll have plenty to interject here as well, because I like doing the same things. Yeah.
Definitely setting the scene, whatever it is, letting people know all about what's going on. And so they can, come prepared, and making sure that your guest list aligns with your whatever you're doing.
Right.
You don't want to invite people who aren't necessarily going to fit, and maybe they'll fit into some venues but not others. So that's important to have that right mix so that people feel comfortable and they're going to have fun, and I think making sure that you have a good code of conduct that people are aware of.
Yes. And how do you ensure that? I mean, I guess I'm imagining everyone that gets invited to the party, it has been previously sort of educated.
Yeah. A lot of people within our community, most people are, knowledgeable about what, all the points of respect and consent and so on, and how to behave appropriately. Fox actually has come up with a really good
pamphlet.
What would you call it?
Agreement
for entering a party.
Yeah,
like a conduct agreement.
Agreement.
Yeah.
Pointers,
tips.
Tips and pointers. Right.
Tips and pointers. How to behave and enjoy the party, so we have people read that and sign it.
That's good.
And that's pretty standard in any clubs and to know that policy and so just kind of carrying that forward.
And your parties are there. I imagine that they the invite list is from a community that's like pre-established. It's not like open to the public.
It's not open. They're not open to the public, but we invite guests and we invite them to bring guests and we ask them
open
to
to
be
new people.
Yes, it's open to new people. We ask them to be respectful. Should somebody behave inappropriately, there are a number of people who will come forward and stop that from occurring,
like a security dominatrix that walks around.
God, that's a job I want.
Right? Security dom.
I work security. It's pretty.
I don't know. That's
with the
you're
costume.
You're hired.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Buttless chaps and little stick.
In clubs they have dungeon monitors who have that role where they're monitoring and making sure that people are okay. At our parties, really the hosts have that responsibility, but we have some key players who also take that responsibility.
That's great.
And
keep it safe.
Yeah.
Keep it safe for everyone.
Definitely.
That's wonderful.
Definitely.
Yeah. Prevents trauma.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And that's like the biggest thing, we're all just like, oh, that would be the worst thing is like to have someone leaving something going like, I feel terrible. Like I need to see a therapist now or something.
Exactly.
But I think that's probably very rarely the case. But that does bring up a point, like when you are creating a guest list for a party, or when I'm creating a guest list for a party, I like to have you introduce people slowly. So if you're introducing, let's say you have a party with 20 people, maybe 4 of them are new or new to the scene or something. Because if you have like 50% of them are like complete newbies, you're going to be working your ass off all night trying to manage the situation.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you just have a couple, something like that, then it becomes this manageable percentage where you have your really experienced people and they're naturally going to help mentor really new people. Yeah. And then the new people are less likely to get injured or, cause any sort of problem or step on toes or something.
It's just like ayahuasca ceremonies.
It might
exactly.
be.
I'm just kidding.
Well, and this is how community operates.
Right.
Is
exactly.
like we all sort of go, all right, we're all having this combined experience. We all want to go in and have this experience together. Let's all hold hands, and the really experienced people are going to mentor the less experienced people, and we all just sort of go and have fun.
Right. I almost yelled glands.
Glands.
We all hold glands. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to see a circus thing happen.
Yay!
I love it. I love it.
I think this might be the year that the circus outgrows the space.
I'm excited to see what happens from there. Because it's sort of like it could go a few different directions where it could find like a space that's like a little bit bigger, or it could find a space that's like much bigger and really, really expand. So that's all very exciting to think about.
Yeah. The more ringmaster I become, the more I realize how much people enjoy the circus.
Oh my God, yes.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I want to hear about icebreakers and activities. There's ice-breaking activities.
Yeah.
We like to play parlor games.
What are parlor games? I'm the noob. I don't know. I'm the
Tell
ignoramus. Tell me. Exactly.
Oh, I don't know if many people know about parlor games.
Okay.
But we tend to have some fun games that everyone can play, where you really get to know each other through whatever kink activity you're doing, but it's fun and light. And I guess the best way is to maybe give you an example of one of these games.
Do.
Okay, so there's a game called Who's Toppin'?
I love it.
I'm imagining it almost like in the popcorn logo that's on the buckets of popcorn, like who's popping? Who's topping?
Yeah. Stove top stuffing.
Well, that's another game. That's an advanced parlor game.
That's way after Who's Topping.
So this one, the bottom is blindfolded,
Mhm.
and then there are a number of tops who each bring their implement to service the bottom.
Wow.
And they will take turns. So one person will go up and flog or spank the bottom, and then everyone will stop, kind of all rush around the person who's bottoming, and all at once say, "Who's topping?" And the person who just got spanked has to figure out which of the people have just
Interesting.
Oh my
spanked them.
gosh.
Yeah.
So it
So-
would be an advantage.
Well, what did they get if they're right? That's an
Yeah,
excellent
good
question.
Yeah, that's a good
If
question.
you are right, you
Yeah.
get tits in your face.
Oh
There
my
you
God, because that's
go.
what you want when
Who
you're
doesn't
right.
want tits in your face?
Yeah.
If you
Good
by the
point.
person who has topped you. If you are wrong, everybody spanks you at the same time.
Oh, good Lord. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy mackerel. That
So
sounds
in-
stimulating.
In that case, it's an advantage to have been topped by all the people who are potential toppers in that case, because then you're going to kind of know their style and how
Right.
it feels.
Kind of.
Kind of.
It's surprising
throw
when
you
you're
off.
when you're blindfolded, or if everybody knows how everyone else tops and mimics that topping.
Oh,
Yeah.
naughty, naughty, shameful. Huh.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
There's some
Topping mimicry.
fuckery potential there.
there's lots of
Mindfuckery.
Yeah.
And that's like
mindfuckery.
that's a whole other genre of BDSM is
Right.
This is fun light
Yeah,
mindfuckery.
this
Yeah.
is like
Place.
parlor mind
Yeah.
fuckery.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fancy fuckery.
You fancy fuckers.
So being a host, that's a lot of responsibility. How do you, what do you put into it? Like, what are the ethics and, intentions you go into being a good host?
Oh, well, setting the scene, definitely. I personally, I'm a host who likes to prepare everything so that their guests can just come in and have a wonderful time.
Yes.
Making sure that there are plenty of toys and
Mhm.
places to be
Ah.
restrained, or benches and things like that.
Mhm.
Making sure that there are towels or blankets or things that are needed, and water, lots of water.
Oh my
Right,
God, yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Lots of fluids being expelled, I
And
imagine.
one
So,
thing
yeah.
that I noticed is that
Just kidding.
when Fancytown came to town, there were vignettes. There was like a little thing over here and a little thing over there. So like you're not just creating one scene, you're creating multiple distinct scenes, little vignettes where people can interact in certain ways.
Yes.
And that was very
Mm.
special.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. And little
creative.
spaces where
Yeah.
you can be quiet and, have a little time to,
Yeah.
just kind of sit and maybe aftercare.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Having a nice, quiet aftercare space is crucial for so many people, especially ones who have had like a really, really intense experience. Having a place where they can kind of unhook and like connect with another person is really big.
Right, right. Be nurtured.
Yeah.
And about the toys you put out, like, it's part of the maid's job to clean the toys. I mean, like, I just sort of imagine
It
that.
can
like,
be.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
cleans them with her
put
mouth.
out a bunch of toys. That's good. Yeah, right.
I'm totally
God.
kidding.
I don't know.
That's her
Totally
fetish.
kidding.
Yeah, exactly. You yeah, back on the floor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was just brought back to like the children's museum where you'd see like a toddler put a toy in their mouth and just like flop it down and see another kid pick it up like 2 minutes later and like, no,
Right.
God.
Oh, God.
Like,
right.
right
Ugh.
into the mouth.
Bleh.
No.
Oh, the Children's Museum, aka the Petri dish.
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
Ugh. The children's like cold vending system.
Yeah.
Bleh.
It's an immune system builder. Let's just say
Yeah.
that. Let's
Yeah.
admit that.
It's true.
Love,
It's
you
true.
just-
I worked
it's
there.
like you-
I had a job there.
You
for a
bring
while.
your kids there and you're like, all right, I'm just going to trust that they're strong. They
Yeah.
will survive.
Yeah. That's all I did while I was there for the most part, is just constantly cleaning snot off toys and putting it back. Maybe it's not that different in an adult party, just constantly cleaning snot off toys and putting them back,
Oh my God. Well, so I think when we're talking about toys, we're talking more about like this kind of toy rather than a toy that's like a device for insertion.
See, that's exactly what I imagined as like
Yes.
butt plugs and,
Yeah.
People tend to bring their own things
Yeah.
like that if they want to use them.
Gotcha.
Or
Oh,
they
this
use
is more-
condoms or
Yeah.
something like that if they use a toy for insertion. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Smart thinking. I'm
Yeah.
learning so much.
I don't put out my personal toys like that for people to play with. But,
You don't want to use
but I'll put out paddles
Yeah.
or canes or
Totally.
floggers, things
Gotcha.
like that. And
Yeah.
and it's understood that unless something is just put out, that you would ask the owner's permission before using them. So
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of
Manners.
like
Keep your
sharing.
manners.
Remember, like when we used to like share eyeliner in the 80s? Like you would just share eyeliner with
I
your besties and
know.
stuff, and we would put it inside our eyes. And then, like the next day, you wake up and your eye is like bright pink and huge, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh God!"
Yeah. Why do we all have
pink eye.
styes and conjunctivitis?
yeah.
Yeah. But that period where everyone was burning the eyeliner to get that Joan Jett, like black, like, that probably helped burn off a lot of germs.
I bet that did help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I got pink eye that way.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, probably a lot of like, third-degree burns on the inner eyelid, but not a lot of pink eye.
These are my blisters. They're hot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just had red eyes from burns.
eye blisters.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, now I kind of want to get back to like, are there any stories that stand out in
Oh,
your
yeah.
head, that
If you have any
that
of those.
are, they just stand out. That's probably enough to ask.
I think there've been some fun parties that have just been really silly, fun, good times that like Tutu Tuesday.
Oh, cute.
Where we just decided to have a group of people together and everybody bring or borrow a tutu and get dressed up
so
into
funny.
and then flog each other.
I love it.
And
in tutus.
Okay, so
and masks.
That's amazing.
because you can get flogged in a tutu because you could have your bottom exposed. Or I suppose you could get flogged anywhere in your body, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If
funny.
you're wearing a tutu, you can and nothing else, you can get your tits flogged really
Mhm.
nicely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
taking notes.
Okay.
Oh, what's the name for the foot flogging again?
Oh, bastonado.
Ah, yeah. That is
Bastonado.
so I had that done
Yeah.
for the first time.
Did it
Yeah.
bust a nut?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Nice.
cool
Yeah.
because it's this part of your body that has completely, there's like your feet are sensitive, but not in like a oh no kind of way. It's like so
They
having
take
that
a lot
done,
of abuse.
They
the
do,
feet.
yeah. We walk on
They
them
get
all
walked
the
on all the time.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's like it is a really cool sensation. So I'd say like if you're into receiving or giving, like that's actually a really cool thing that I super enjoyed that. I thought it was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels
Yeah.
yes. That's my favorite way to receive.
Uh-huh.
Is for somebody to beat my feet.
Bastonado. I'm trying to
Bastonado.
Yeah.
know what that means. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, we have a question. Michael.
Oh, let's see. I'll open up my texty pools.
Yeah.
Did you just do it to Shar?
Oh.
Oh, to both of us. Okay.
Oh,
Team.
we have
Team awesome.
we have a new question.
I don't see the question. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Oh my god.
Oh, I just want to say that when Josh asked a question, he addressed it very properly and said, "Hello, mistress."
Yes, he did.
Because
Lovely.
one
I hope-
must address a mistress properly.
Yes, and he did one of your most salacious stories. He did preface it as he would like to know one of your most salacious stories, but maybe nothing comes to mind. Maybe it's all
Yeah.
salacious.
I don't know. There's so much
Yeah.
How do you-
salacious. I don't know how to
Right. Pick one out.
pick any. I mean, it's all pretty hot.
I guess this
So-
Josh is just
the
going to have
next-
to go to a party.
This same Josh just asked, well, would either of the Bawd Sisters care to be the recipient of a flogging demo?
a live flogging.
A live flogging demo. And also, most importantly, would Mistress Kat feel comfortable with that? And that could be something we could negotiate for another day if need be.
Mhm, mhm.
Negotiations, everything.
I might. Well, I don't know if we'd
You're on
be
the spot.
properly set up
I know.
camera wise and so on.
Yeah.
So that might be something that we should schedule
We can,
to
Or even, make
and I
another
can-
private video.
yeah.
That
right.
you
Right.
do on
Oh,
the air.
Maybe
Yeah.
for our
know?
maybe for our esteemed Patreon fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
maybe
even-
that's like, yeah, so we can negotiate that
There
out
you
there.
go.
I'm
Yes.
all about
Another
that,
thing
yeah.
that comes to mind is just for like beginning floggers, are there any tips to, like the live flogging demo, I imagine, is like the inspiration behind it could be like to educate people a little bit, educate and inspire. And like, I know that, for instance, I've heard it said from some mysterious person, a great thing to do is to like flog your leg first with like a flogger to see like what it feels like before you flog someone else.
You should definitely try any toy out on yourself before trying it out on someone else.
Yeah, because they're all different, right?
They're all different. Yeah. You don't know how hard that's going to hit, what it's going to feel like. So I...
yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I try all my toys out on myself before I try them out on other people.
Yeah. But in general, the stiffer the material, the more you're going to get a sting. The softer the material, the more you're going to get a thud. The wider, the more thuddy. The skinnier, the more stingy. If something has ends that are cut at an angle, you're going to get more stinging. It's like, there's a lot to it. So elk feels different than cow. Like there's
the thickness of the skin.
Yeah.
Right,
or like,
yeah.
So,
and probably how many of these tendrils there
are. Yeah. So something like this, you look at this, it's really soft.
Falls. Not balls. Sorry.
Falls.
Everything goes through my balls filter.
Like waterfall.
Yeah.
Waterfalls.
And that's what this is like. So what you have here is you have wide pieces of very soft suede, and then even wider pieces. Well, no, actually, they're not really wider. They just look wider because they're furry. And wide pieces of rabbit fur. And it's all very soft on all sides, but it does have like a nice weight to it. And so what you're going to get is a thuddy, soft, impactful experience, but it's not going to sting.
You know what I imagine too is like, watching people who really get into flogging, they'll do that kind of thing where they brush the flog over the buns kind of back and forth to kind of prepare it with, stimulation, lighter stimulation before they give it a whoosh, So this would be very, especially like soft and sensual and handy and lovely.
Yes.
When preparing the buns for a little,
fun.
Yeah.
Prepare the buns for fun. I love it.
For the
and one
ball.
thing I've also noticed is that this could be a great place to start. And then if you want something that's like a little more sensation, like a little more intense, but this is also a great place to end. So it's nice to start a little softer and end a little softer. And you can get as intense as you want to get in the middle.
Like a sting sandwich.
You want to give them a sandwich.
Fluffy, stingy, fluffy.
Yeah. But you may never want to go stingy. Like I hardly ever want to go stingy.
Yeah.
But
me too.
Yeah, this is something like this is a great bookend.
Where
did you find this, by the way? Because I have such a heart on for this.
I found it at Kink Fest.
Okay.
And I don't recall the name of the maker offhand, but I can find out and let you know.
And when and where's Kink Fest?
It just happened, like 4 weeks ago or something like that?
Oh, right.
Or
I did
was
hear
it
about
more
that.
than that?
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
End of April, mid-April.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was like, it sold out like
that.
It was done. Yeah.
Welcome to Portland.
But maybe like if there's a post-COVID ever, like maybe they can let more people in. And so it's like with COVID numbers, I think those events just get really tailored down to really small groups. So
right. And guess what time it is? Oh my God.
Ermigerd, it's time.
I can't believe it. Time flies so fast when you're having fun. I want to encourage everyone always to be supporting through liking and subscribing on YouTube, Patreon. If you do that, like we have
was that an Orgy Venmo now?
What?
We have a was that an Orgy Venmo?
Oh my!
I tried to get you to Venmo me $1. I was like, biatch, give me $1.
I'm too poor. I can't do it. No, just kidding. But, huge big ups to Chris for like your amazing
very awesome
donation. I mean, should we say how much? Should we not say how much? It's just it's probably inappropriate, but it's amazing. It's so generous. I'm so humbled. Thank you. Yeah. And it's going to keep it going for a while longer because this bitch is broke.
Yeah.
Thanks to the divorce.
Dude. Divorce is so stupid. Why? It pulls money away from stuff like this.
I know, exactly. Now I'm hurt too.
Kat, before we sign off, is there anything you'd like to promote or final words or like do you have a site or a profile or anything you want anyone to look
Good
up?
question.
But we can also put all these things in the show notes if you don't have anything to say right now.
My
Also.
site in the works is catsbazaar.com.
Okay.
Yay.
And I just promote good, fun times.
You sure
Yay!
I can attest to that. You sure do.
We need more of that. We need
Nothing
more.
but goodness. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
With all the other traumatic shit that's happening, yes, we need
Yeah.
more of that. So
Put
thanks
yourself
for being
in the good times, everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is a great time to exercise, your desire for fun and for connection and community
Yes,
and
definitely.
and exploring yourself and what you love.
Yeah, and thanks
I
for
love
being
it.
such a
Yes.
creative
Yeah.
curator of such an amazing event. It
Yeah.
takes a lot of courage,
pleasure.
bravery, individuality.
Yes.
I bet it is. Hey, everybody else is too.
Anyways, that's the thing. It's everybody else's pleasure too. That's the best
Right.
part.
Yeah, which makes you the bomb. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Yeah.
Yay. Thanks everybody else for tuning in to our tune. See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
See you next Tuesday. I'm always there beside you, no matter where you stop. I'll follow you to movies, even to the barber shop. Now, eager people, baby. Eager people, baby. Eager people, baby.